3, 2, 1. Welcome to the PMBC meeting for October 23rd, 2024. First order of business is the warrant, and I will attempt to bring that up on my screen. And I do share screen. And these are invoices from the roof project for the high school. And can you say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see if I can enlarge this a little bit. So these are, back from February and March. It's for Rockwell Roofing. 24,450 for the March invoice, 23,227.50 for the February invoice, for a total of 47,000. I gotta get, even though I have my glasses on, $47,677.50. Any questions or comments?
Are we really happy with the high school roof?
As far as I know, haven't
Okay.
heard any negative comments.
I hope so.
I think
They just
Steve
gave him a
Mock is
job.
satisfied with it.
Well, to be quite honest, Harvey or Bartlett, this is only part of the roof, and they are unhappy with the rest of the roof, which is not.
I know that the rest of the roof has been leaking for years and years.
I know. So we're kind of doing this piecemeal, which is, anyway, that's the way it is. So
Motion to approve.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Bob,
Bob Romley, yes.
Bartlett,
Well, yes.
Mike,
Mike, yes.
and Steve, yes. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Now we go back to the agenda. So the next item is Shaker Lane School Feasibility Study. Stacy is at the meeting that they're holding tonight. They are discussing the approach to the 10-minute presentation for a special town meeting, which is at the end of the month. And the proposal has been submitted to the MSBA for review and approval. So that's kind of where we are. We'll know more about the presentation format and more substance, I guess, once we at the end of the meeting tonight, the Shaker Lane School Building Committee.
Steve, you want to do the minutes from the 9:25, or you want to wait and do?
Oh, I'm sorry. Skipped over that. Yeah, approve the meeting minutes from 9:25 as amended twice because Bartlett picked up some math errors. So revision 2 of the meeting minutes from 9:25. Any comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there a second? All in favor, Bob,
Bob Romley, yes.
Mike,
Mike Scaduto, yes.
Bartlett,
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
and Steve Moore, yes. Motion carries. Moving down to Shaker Lane, the Senior Center, Brian. Or
Thank
Mark.
you, Steve. Make it quick. Construction's ongoing. We provided the monthly report last meeting. We'll have another one for the following meeting, as well as our invoice packet for the month of October. We are moving right along. Roof is going up. Siding was delivered. Siding was approved on the mock-up that we have on site. And we're still holding our date of early substantial completion the second week of March. The only other item I wanted to bring up, 2 items, is we are looking to execute the contract with the security vendor, Neshoba Security. We have that. I can distribute it. I don't think we need a vote, as it is part of our budgeted line item for security. We had $100,000 for security. The contract that has been proposed for us is $61,000. We are going to actually use the Commodore as our vehicle for this. They're going to become a sub just for coordination and also for procurement ease. That's how we're going to run that through. So we've done a lot of the legwork in coordination with the hardware, the electrician, as well as the doors. And Neshoba is ready and ready to get mobilized. So we'll be putting our paperwork together and executing that contract with Neshoba Security. The only other item I wanted to bring up, based on our meeting today, we have Liz, the director of Senior Center, had reached out about the possibility of a tour of the construction site. We got the approval with Commodore. We are going to be holding a tour on Monday, the 28th, beginning at 3. Commodore has asked that we limit the tours to about 15 people to about 20 to 30 minutes. I think we're going to have 2 or 3 waves of tours that come through. So Vertex will be there. The town will be there, as well as Commodore. We're going to limit it to the first floor as much as we can. If people can come in on the top side, then we can also accommodate that. But we'll have the proper PPE, and the stakeholders have been notified with that. So we just wanted to reach out and extend that to the PMBC.
So I did send that invite out to the PMBC, and I told Liz that I would be there.
Great. So besides that, things are going well. We had our weekly meeting today. A lot of standard things. There's very little RFIs, very little submittals that have come through. Our only hiccup is that we're ironing out our solar package and the specific modules that we're going to have on the roof. We're trying to make sure, with the kind of ever-growing technology, there's new equipment, it seems like, every week that can be submitted. So we're going to make a decision on that, make sure that we get the order is placed so that we can have that as soon as possible, and ideally, prior to any type of turnover with the building. We did coordinate with Littleton Water. We got our water meter on site. That'll be cut in within the next few days. And
Wrong one, Brian.
it was the wrong one, but we did get confirmation that they're working on it. They showed up with Littleton Water showed up with a 4-inch meter, something that it may be quite oversized for our needs. So they're going back, and they'll be delivering a 2-inch meter for us to place in the assembly that we have in the water room. We have a lot of coordination gone on with Nancy Glencross and the IT department about pulling the fiber into the MDF room, as well as the phone line that will be used for our elevator, which was delivered today, which will take about 3 to 4 weeks for install.
So Brian, as far as the solar panel selection, are we coordinating any of that with the sustainability group?
I have not reached out to them personally. I do know that Liz has had conversations with them, and she's also, we were informed today that through a state earmark, we were able to be granted some money in order to offset that. So we would be and I can reach out to the sustainability group about any type of documentation that's needed in order to achieve that rebate that we're going to get once the solar panels show up.
I believe the sustainability group is having their own meeting next Tuesday, I think.
Okay, I'll write that
in
down.
Town. Is
Okay.
that right, Bob?
I didn't catch that, Steve. Go ahead.
The sustainability committee is having their own meeting next Tuesday on I think it's just specific to the senior center.
Thank you for telling me. I will
I
I'll put
wasn't
that
aware
in
of
my
that
notes.
either.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I maybe no. This has to do with Shaker Lane. Never mind. I'm getting my jobs mixed up.
No problem, but I still think it's a good idea to reach out, let them know what we're doing from a green and energy savings perspective at the new building. So that's all we have. We'll have all of our documentation for the 13th of November for the next meeting, where we'll have our monthly meeting, our monthly update, as well as any potential changes that we foresaw. We are holding a couple of the credit change orders that we're fleshing out now, and we hope to bring those to you too. We're hoping to achieve somewhere around $100,000 in credits based upon some of the reviews that we've had with the documents and savings that we were able to get.
Yeah, I saw that in the documents that Matt sent out earlier this week.
Yep.
Yep.
Great. Thank you.
Brian, as far as the tour goes, everybody has to sign a waiver.
Correct. So Commodore will have that there on site for people to sign the waiver. They also ask, people wear protective shoes, and Commodore will also supply any hard hats. The reason for it being at 3:00 that everybody will be demobilized off the site. So, and we'll actually give them a little time to clean up inside to make sure we have proper walking paths.
Oh, so we have to bring our own boots?
Yeah, you can use mine if you want.
No. I'll
No.
bring mine. I
Just
can bring
use-
my own PPE, but I guess they'll have their,
Just
I'll bring my own. I won't put on their stuff.
Okay.
Anything, think closed-toed shoes.
My competitor.
The party line on that. I don't know that you have to have steel shank boots, but
Bring a couple, Mike. I'll wear yours.
Oh, I don't have steel shank because they won't allow it on the MBTA property.
Yeah, they don't like that anymore.
no.
Yeah. I think it's composite, right? Composite?
Yeah, composite.
Yeah. So, anything else on the senior center?
Brian, what about the order for the lighting?
Which one?
The sign lighting?
Yes. So we approved the change order last meeting that had to do with the site signage. That is getting resubmitted with the new approval that we gave them. Once that is submitted and approved by the architect, we've requested that it comes to the owner for one last pass to make sure that we're in agreement with what the lettering and the location is going to be. So we flagged that submittal just so that we can make sure that everyone is satisfied before it gets released. So we anticipate that coming in the next week or so. We can distribute that to the PMBC, and we'll be kind of the gatekeeper of the approval of the lettering and the backlit that's going to be on Shattuck Street.
All right.
Great. Anything else on senior center?
No.
We'll move over to Indian Hill. Brian?
Yes, we have a couple. I'll let Matt run through them very quickly. I want to give a quick synopsis. One of the changes that he's going to give is about the security system. Neshoba had come out. We budgeted a line item for the security throughout the entire Indian Hill property. Probably about 6 to 10 meetings later that we've had both with the security vendor and with the contractor and with both school and Parks and Rec departments. There has been some scope change as to how they want to secure this building. And one of that is going to be a change in order to put the fobs on the front door of the building. The intention was never to have them there, but in order to do so, there's a hardware component of this that Neshoba is going to be providing. So that's a change that Matt's going to show, and that we're looking for approval on a couple other miscellaneous change orders that are small. But overall, from a construction standpoint, things are progressing. If you've driven by, the paint is on. I think the building looks. It was a big morale boost to see the paint go on the exterior. It looks really nice, and yeah, they're really outfitting the rooms now. We have really a lot of participation on a weekly meeting from both Parks and Rec and with the school department. So they're really kind of seeing this evolve and providing kind of in-time feedback about, any types of layouts or anything that we were looking for. And the contractor has been great to work with on that as well. So I'll kick it to Matt just to go quickly through some of the changes that we need. And again, we'll have our monthly update on the 13th of November.
I was kind of bummed out when I went up the last time. The whole site was fenced off, so I couldn't drive up there.
Oh, we'll arrange for something for you to get in. So
Bring your wire cutters.
yeah.
We don't recommend that for the record. Sure. So I guess I can start here with a shared screen, and I'll show a summary page of the updated PCO log with all of the things that we're going to be bringing forward, and then we can dive into them individually if folks want to do that. So let me share this. So this is our PCO log. As Brian mentioned, there are a few changes. I'll zoom in. What we're focusing on here tonight are the items that are in green down here, which are the the pending items that we wanted to present this evening. And so we have these 4 items. We have electrical T&M, time and materials to refeed circuits at new openings. So this is adjustments to the electrical circuits based on some adjustments to the walls and the opening in them as the floor plan was reconfigured. So that came from Classic in the amount of $3694.85. So we reviewed that. The architects reviewed that, and so we've have given that our recommendation that we move forward with that work.
So that's the actual cost of the T&M, right?
Yes, that's based on the slips verified by our site rep, Doug Goddard, who is monitoring that and making sure that they're spending that time, that is the time that is being spent on that task. So this is from electrical T&Ms. That would be by the electrical subcontractor, who is Bright Light Electrical.
So Steve, on that one, the work was being performed regardless. We had them track the time, and what we did is we took all of those slips and turned to the architect and made them tell us whether or not that it was something owned in the drawings. And so we did take the T&M and are recommending that based upon the reconfigurations on the new openings and how they had to refeed those new circuits.
Okay, thanks.
Our next item is added windows to basement corridor wall, and windows is a bit of a misnomer here. I think we might describe them as side lights. So this is for as the structural work has progressed in the lower level of the space. Instead of closing the wall back up, we saw an opportunity to really improve the experience in the club room with. Instead of closing that wall with framing and sheetrock, to introduce a little bit more shared light from the hallway with a side light to the door into the space, so that some of that is now translucent. So that was a owner request that we were able to accommodate for fairly short money, we felt. From Classic, who we think gave us a fair price to do that scope. So that's
a side light to the door?
Yes, it's to the door into the at the lower level into the the club room. I think Alicia is on the call if you want a further explanation of the program plan for that space. But that is an opportunity we felt to improve the quality of the experience in that space, introduce a little bit more natural light down there at the lower level in a space that has limited of that resource.
Yeah, you're referring to the ones that are in the hallway.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. The other positive to that as well is it allows the staff to be able to see and kind of keep an eye on the kids a bit more too. If we had just drywalled in that whole wall, then, there's no point of view for any of the staff. If they needed to go out in like the hallway and have a conversation with a parent. So it's a bonus. We get, eyes on kids, and we get some additional light that can come in through that hallway.
Yeah, we did the same thing at the library.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. We have item PCO number 31 here, which was for concrete testing. And this is something that we carried in the original project budget for the sake of making the testers, procuring the testers in a timely way relative to when Classic wanted to do the concrete pours for the new structural footings in the basement. We actually elected to run this through Classic's contract, and they were able to do this extremely efficiently. We had actually budgeted approximately $5,000 for construction testing on the project. With the amount that they were able to do this for with their trusted vendor Yankee Testing, we got the results that we needed, got the testing performed that we needed, and should we approve this, I think we'll actually be able to return some surplus there to the contingency on the project to replenish that by the balance unspent in the testing line item. Brian, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the concrete's really strong. It already came back with the brakes, and we're already achieving the the spec PSI that we were looking for with the concrete. So I think the brakes needed to be 4,000. We were well above that on the
Yeah.
brakes. We were there when Yankee was on site, so there was no conflict of interest, but this was a lot quicker and a lot cheaper to do it rather than us running through ours. So it's not so much as a change order as just we're taking it out of our contingency and we're going to replace it out of our testing budget.
Understood.
Yep.
Good call.
We were very pleased to have been able to achieve this expeditiously and economically for the project. So that's what underpins our recommendation to approve that. Building security, as Brian mentioned, similar to the senior center project, we elected to run this through the general contractor's contract. There is sort of similar to the testing that we were just describing. The security is there was a budget line item that we are slightly over here, but it's in part due to elective scope changes over a series of stakeholder meetings to make sure that we were meeting the building's programmatic needs from a security standpoint. So that amount would be moved to the contingency through a budget transfer within the project to help offset some of this amount. But we won't.
Yeah, all I'll add to that, Matt, is it's a very similar scope as we've got at the senior center. It's fobs, it's cameras, and it's a server that goes with it. The premium that we're paying here, like we alluded to, is the hardware that Neshoba is going to take on rather than it being in the normal scope of hardware. They're going to take that on. And then additionally, it's because it's a renovation, there's a bit of a premium in order to cutting into existing walls, cutting into existing frames and running wires and snaking wires through the wall. So the upcharge on this is basically those factors there, but it's going to be a very similar security system that's run over the town fiber and monitored either at the police station as well as town hall. We've done a full vet with Nancy, and I think we've had about 3 or 4 walkthroughs with all parties to make sure that this is getting what it is. Anything else that's not under the security system, we're also going to be working with the town regarding a key hierarchy for standard offices and conference rooms, so that, you know, we're not going to pay to have this place have a security fob on every single door. This was more or less the priority doors that staff will be using, that we also can have control over during after hours if someone's going to use a conference room on the first floor when staff is not around. It's something that can be programmed from both departments.
And there's also a bit of a premium that we're paying to have this run through the contractor.
It's correct.
But that's well worth it in my experience because of the coordination issues.
It's correct.
Yes, that as well. We have one other item, and it's a design item, and that is related to requested scope for the there's a crawl space underneath the building, and within that space there previously have been moisture issues, and the air in that space does not circulate, and so we identified that as an issue and requested a design amendment from LLB, our architect, to come up with a design to address those concerns. And so we walked that with LLB and with Ryan, and we took a look at that, and we came up with a requested scope, which is, generally speaking, louvers to allow air circulation into the space so that it can dry out. In addition to that, it would include some insulation adjustments and putting back insulation that was on the insulating the floor above that crawl space, installation of a damp proofing product for the exposed ground underneath there, as well as providing a new insulated access panel to the space. The existing one is not insulated, and we felt that that contributes to the issue. So LLB would have a look at that and recommend a design solution for that space to address moisture and air infiltration issues at that space. It's the lower
So
level room
is radon an issue?
not here to the best.
No, there is a
there's
radon
a radon
system in the
system
building.
in the building.
Okay. So this is just to address the moisture problem, but this is just the design component.
Correct.
Okay. So what do you want us to vote on tonight?
Just the three PCOs Matt put in front of you, and then if you'd like to proceed with this amendment here, like you said, it's just a design portion of it. If we get a design and we get a price that's really absorbent, that can't be kind of taken care of by this project, maybe it's something that facilities does have the design for, and they could do at a later date if the problem persists.
Was someone making a comment? I heard something. So from what I understand, there are 4 PCOs here, right?
There are these here identified in green, and the total of those items is here in the green box at the bottom. It's 89, 570, and 68 cents.
Matt, was there original line item for that building security that we're not seeing here?
Sorry,
Yeah,
what was-
Bob, that's in the vendor invoice packet in our total project budget. It's around 50 grand is what we had originally. That will dump into this contingency. That will go up, and then it will just we'll reflect it as just a change order.
So it's like 30 some odd thousand.
It's about 30,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
delta is about 35,000.
Is there a motion to approve the 4 PCOs in the amount of $89,570.68?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
All in favor, Bob?
Bob Rumley, yes.
Mike?
Mike Scaduto, yes.
Bartlett?
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Steve Moore, yes. Motion carries.
Do we want to do a separate motion
Yes.
on the design amendment? Okay.
Can you enlarge that so I can rate it?
Sure. Sorry, I didn't realize that was tiny. My screen is gigantic.
Okay.
Is this legible?
Yep.
Okay, great.
So is there a motion to approve amendment number 7 for LLB Architects to do
Crawl space.
to mitigate
removal.
vapor moisture in the existing crawl space in the amount of $1,850?
So moved. No, nobody wants to
Second.
make the motion.
Okay. All in favor, Bob?
Bob Rumley, yes.
Bartlett?
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Mike?
Mike Scaduto, yes.
Steve? Steve Moore, yes. Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Okay.
I have to jump to another meeting, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
Okay, anything else for Indian Hill?
Oh,
Nope, not at this time. That was all of the items that we wanted to present this evening. Thank
did
you.
we need Brian for the police station?
No, Brian's not involved in the police station. You know, it's anyway, thanks for that, Matt.
Yeah, sure.
So Bob, I think you and I have been monitoring the police station, and I think LLB still owes us a proposal for the for their portion of that work before we can proceed, and that's the last I've seen of it.
I thought Ryan said something about doing up a contract with them.
With LLB,
Yeah.
did we get
Yeah.
a proposal?
Yeah, I believe that's in the works. We're trying to work on that this week to get a proposal for that. And hopefully next meeting we'll have something for you.
Yeah, things are kind of dragging on there. It's going to be
It's gonna be cold.
the weather's going to preclude the moisture test, I think, pretty
Yes. Yeah, it's been very dry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's about it on the police station. Member input, Bob,
I'm all set, thanks.
Bartlett,
I'm all set, thanks.
Mike,
I'm good, thanks.
and I'm good. And I appreciate everyone's time this evening, and we'll see you at the next meeting. Oh, wait a minute. Next meeting is 11/13/2024. And is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, Bob,
Bob Romley, yes.
Mike,
Mike Scaduto, yes.
Bartlett,
Bartlett, yes.
and Steve Moore, yes. Motion carries. Thanks very much. We'll see you at the next meeting.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.